All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is my 2006 Acura RSX Type S, the last year of this model. Some people know it as the Integra over in Japan, but this is the Type S version. I've had this car for a little over a year. I would say just shy of a year and a half. So we'll call this the 1 year review. That's kind of overly due. But yeah, 137,000 miles. I think I bought it with 131,000. I don't know. I'll link the video below of the first video that I made with it, with the exact mileage in it. But pretty clean. OEM seats, pretty clean. I believe that driver's side was recovered at some point. Got the kid seat in the back, but all stock radio inside. All stock in the side. As far as the outside, first of all, I'll go over just having it for a year. Treated me really good. When the weather's nice like it is now, I daily drive this. I have a Durango, if you don't already know from the channel, 2014 Durango. That's almost like my beater. It's my daily, especially when the weather's rough. But I probably drive the Durango to work during the nice, maybe 1 or 2 times, and I drive this to work 3 or 4 times, and then they split time on the weekend. But I also have an Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive turbo that is kind of like a Sunday cruiser. Not that I cruise as much as I would like to in that, but yeah. So this car's been awesome. Great gas mileage. I'm not even touching the highway too often with it, and I'm still getting between 27 and like 30 miles per gallon. So do I think it's a great daily? Heck yeah, I do. Hatch opens, gives a lot of room. I picked up 10 bags of mulch in this with the hatch open. The seats fold down nice and flat. So this car has treated me well. It's never left me stranded or anything. It was definitely resprayed at some point before. Usually on these cars, this is usually black. So it was definitely resprayed at some point. A little bit of sun fade. You know, you gotta look for it, but the car's kind of dirty right now, as you can see, all the dirt. But the top has some, the roof has some fade too, which is really common with these Hondas, with this Acura RSX. You know, the flat section on the top usually has sun fade. But some things that I've done, the first thing I did, you know, big giant mods, which I'm kidding. RSX Type S. Just a Type S badge in the front. There's a couple different ones you can get. I actually like the font on this one better. So that is why I went with that one. The only other thing on the outside that I did was I swapped these LED bulbs. Again, all these videos are on my channel. LED bulb here, LED bulb headlight, and there's like 3 LED bulbs on each side that I swapped out. I left the turn signal and I left the high beam, but everything else was 2 or 3 on each side. I swapped all them out. Haven't had to do brakes yet. They were kind of freshly done. It's got drilled rotors in the front, drilled and slide on the back. Pads still got some good life. So I don't need to do brakes yet. On the inside, from DC5 Designs, the only thing I changed was this used to just say RSX, and I had them redo them, and I got a Type S badge. That's pretty much it on the inside. I like the stock radio. I like having an old school CD player. I rock some old school CDs once in a while. But another thing that I got, this is from Walmart, a little Bluetooth receiver. I think this was all of about 10 to 20 bucks. And this thing is awesome. So I use that for Spotify. You can see door panels are in good shape. Everything's pretty much in good shape. We'll pop the hood. I'll show you the giant turbo setup. Obviously, I'm kidding. So the first issue I had with this within, you know, the last year and a half is check engine light came on for a knock sensor. Didn't leave me stranded or nothing. If you know anything about a knock sensor, it's just a code. It actually happened when I was making a pull. This thing revs to 8,200 RPM, so that was it's a pretty fun ride. It's not a car that you can get in a bunch of trouble with, but for what it is, it's a fun car. It's fun to drive. It's one of those cars where you gotta drive it fast in order to you know, feel alive with it. But fun little car. Anyways, K20Z1 knock sensor code. So I did replace the knock sensor. again, I have a video on that. It's underneath the intake manifold. Some people say you have to take the intake manifold. I just got it. I was able to get it from the bottom, so I just got the car on jack stands, and it took longer than I think I would have liked, but I was able to replace that knock sensor. Another thing I did was the valve cover gasket that was leaking, so I replaced that. Did spark plugs, and then this was really bad. Like, so if you look at the color of the intake manifold, that's kind of what the valve cover looked like. So I painted that. It's about a year ago now, and I literally had some wheel paint laying around. It's like a graphite wheel paint. Again, that's in the video, you know, on my channel, and it came out great, and it's literally held up great. It's got a couple marks here, and that's honestly from when I had to, you know, squeeze it back in here to install it. You know, you got to play with these lines to get it back on. But yeah, it's actually held up great. I was actually thinking about taking the graphite color and doing a little plastic shield just to kind of have it all one color, but at the same time, you know, I'm not popping the hood of this thing too often anyways. Stock intake, stock, you know, OEM style filter. So that's it. I did, I had my buddy Jared come over last year and help me out. He checked, he did the valve lash adjustment, and then valve lash adjustment. He also checked on the timing chain, and we couldn't believe how clean the oil was in this thing, you know, underneath the valve cover and all that. So everything checked out pretty good. So I think eventually I'm going to have to do power steering pump. Once in a while you'll hear it whine in the cold weather, but it doesn't seem to be leaking any fluid or anything like that. But you know, so I just keeping my eye on that. If I got to do the pump in a high pressure line, seems to be the way to go. Same battery it came with. What else have I done here? I think that's it. Oh, this radiator. So I was driving home. I saw some smoke. Temperature stayed fine. I saw some smoke, and after some searching around, looking around, there's a video. The radiator was actually leaking, the plastic OEM radiator from right at the top. So I have a whole video on that. I have a whole video of this radiator, which is an all aluminum radiator. It's from Amazon, DNA Motoring. I actually even left them a review with all the video. And this thing's been on the car for, I guess, 2-3 months now, about 3 months. I've driven it a little less because there was a lot of salt on the roads. But now we're getting to March now, and I've been driving the car. You know, I'm back to driving it 3 to 4 days a week. So this radiator has been awesome. It's treated me well. It's all aluminum. Fit pretty good. You know, is it as good as OEM? No, but I was able still to mount all my fans up, and it's treated me well. No leaks, no nothing so far. Knock on wood. So it's treated me well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this car. This was one of those cars where I was like, man, kind of felt like, do I really need another car? But I kind of wanted something that was good on gas, something with a little bit of a fun factor, and most importantly, the fun factor for me was I wanted a manual car, and I wanted something reliable. Eagle Talon TSI, not exactly fuel efficient. It's on the 85, bigger turbo. And I did swap that to auto years ago, and I just missed driving a manual, and I just wanted something I could just hop in and just go, and that's what these K-Series cars do. Future plans, I have some yellow fog lights for it, so I am going to do some fog lights in the bumpers. Seems like it should mount up pretty easily. I do have to look into the wiring part of it, because I don't want to run it like off of a battery, and I want to run it off like an OEM style switch. You can still see some of the radiator down there behind the core there, behind the AC core. And yeah, so this car's treating me great. Some future plans, I don't know, should I throw an intake on this thing, or should I just pretty much leave it stock? You know, I was even like, do I even put badges on it, you know? Like, so I don't think I took it too far. I think the Type S badge just makes it feel like something a little special. DC5 Designs, I thought this was just a nice touch to the interior to add that in there. So that's on both sides. But I think I'm just gonna leave it alone for a while. You know, trust me, I would love like a supercharged K20, but I don't know. just feel like I just want to be able just to enjoy the car. This is the type of car that I could still bring to a Cars and Coffee event. You know, you don't see many of these around. And I think for now I'm just going to enjoy it. But, you know, keep up with the maintenance, do some more maintenance things, shoot some videos on that. Like I said, the fog lights. But other than that, I was thinking about getting the bumper support brackets that go behind here. I forget the brand of that, but you know, I know there's different brands anyways. The rear could use it a little bit. You could see next to this tail light, it kind of sticks out a little bit, so it could use a little bit of aligning on certain parts. But other than that, these wheels were, I'm assuming it's paint because there's a lot of curb rash on them. But somebody painted them like a bronzish color. Not exactly bronze, but I actually like it a lot with this. So it doesn't bug me. I just wish it didn't have as many scuffs. Most of them were already there. Some of them were from me, but yeah, 2006 RSX Type S. Just wanted to give you guys just a quick walk around and you know, see what your thoughts are. What do you think? Think I should just leave it as is and just drive it? I don't want to make it a garage queen. I want to enjoy it. Like I said, 137,000 miles. I feel like it's still got a ton of life left, even if I just kind of baby it and, you know, hit that VTEC once in a while. But other than that, I think I'm just going to enjoy it. That's the plan. All right, comment below. Let me know what you think. What are you driving right now? What's your plans with it? Talk to me. I like to hear from you.